Hey, Dr. West.
How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. Can you guys see the art in the background there?
Did you do that yourself?
No. Well,
Oh, well, I thought it was really good.
yeah. That's signs of the flood. Daniel was out of school Thursday and Friday.
That's
I
what my
understand that.
drawing skill is too.
Your drawings. Is that what you said, Zach?
My drawings look like that. I mean, like the first year of urban planning being actual physical sketching and drawing was really tough for me.
Yeah,
When we got into the computer stuff, that's where I shined.
I never had to do that.
So that would stop the flow.
In the actual downspout? Stupid.
Uh,
Sorry, I'm here, but I'm going to go on whatever because we got a roof leak we're trying to deal with, but I'm here.
Good luck.
Sorry about the roof leak, but that was beautiful blue sky behind you.
Good morning, everyone. I did not, nobody said they were not going to be able to make it. It sounded like the mayor and Dustin had some other things going on, but they're here.
Yeah. Good morning. We have 6 members. We can give it another minute for Annette and Melanie, right?
Jean and Melanie. 1, 2, 3, 4. Annette. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Jean and
There's Annette. There's Melanie. Good morning.
Morning.
How did everyone handle this rain event last week? Anyone get flooded? What? No? Yeah. Okay.
Thankfully, no. We did sandbag though, just in case.
Nice. That's a good idea. Where I work, there was flood waters just about 20 feet away from our building. So that was fun.
Out at the place, we got up to waist deep and lost some stuff and some equipment, but
I'm sorry.
we were able to move all the animals and get everything into different barns. So no loss of livestock, but loss of equipment and some property.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm glad you were able to save your livestock, though. We live on the side of a glacial came, so we rarely get water. We got like a quarter-inch water. It came through my dirt floor and then it went right back. So felt pretty lucky. All right, I think we get another minute already. We're just missing one member. We'll go ahead and kick this party started. Welcome everyone to the August meeting of the Board of Directors of Muncie Land Bank. I believe we have a very short agenda for today's meeting. We have just the consent agenda to start out with. I know that the agenda and the inputs got sent out late last night, so let's just take a minute, make sure we reviewed our consent agenda, and then I would entertain either a motion to adopt, accept, pass as presented, or correct if needed.
yes, apologies for getting that out so late. I'm actually in Minneapolis right now. Didn't realize I was going to be making this trip until Wednesday at about 10:30 in the morning. So we're at a wedding, a friend of Juliet's, the wife. So I got behind.
It happens. It happens. Enjoy Minneapolis, though.
Thank you.
I mean, has everyone had a chance to review? Do I get any motion?
So moved.
Motion to adopt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none, call a question, roll call. Heather. She's saying.
I approve.
Hi. Dan,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dustin,
Yes.
Rebecca.
Sorry,
It's good.
here.
Yes. No.
Yes.
Yes, I approve of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Melanie
Yes.
and Annette.
Yes.
And I makes it unanimous. Thank you very much. We don't have any voting items, so most of the meeting is just going to be a little discussion on the things that we have going on in programs, projects, and committees. And I'm going to let staff take it from here as we start with our acquisition disposition.
Yeah, just some quick updates. 2116 North New York, which we sold at the beginning of July. I know last month I shared some pictures. There's more in the folder this month if you'd like to take a look, along with some video. Just showing the quick progress they're making. They reframed the second floor and they had that approved. They redid the plumbing and electrical, and that was approved. So they're moving really quickly. The county commissioners, we've decided to make an ask like we do every year for some tax certificates. We've asked for 20 or so. They went ahead and granted that request. We're waiting on the next county commissioners meeting. It got pushed back a little bit for the public hearing to take place. Once that public hearing happens, that's when we can get the final approval and actually be awarded those certificates. So to date, we have 44 deeds in our name right now. We have 8 tax certificates, not including those that are upcoming, and we've sold 129. We have 1 property scheduled to close on Monday. That's a side lot. And we also just recently closed 22 properties as part of the Ready 2.0 project to Affordable Home Matters or in Tind, Indiana. There's 3 remaining, which 1 is awaiting demolition. And then we've already paid the administrative fee as agreed to with the building commissioner. So once that demo is complete, that release is going to be issued immediately. And then we have 2 properties that are awaiting new surveys because their legal descriptions were messed up after going through the tax sale so many times. Those 3 properties are the last properties that we're going to be selling to Intend as part of this project. So the last 3 of the 36 in total. I also know, and Annette can give more updates on this if she'd like, but 500 West Howard, that rehab as part of this project has begun with Matt Wayand as the GC for that property. That's all I have as far as acquisition and disposition.
I'm sorry, Zach, I hate to have you repeat this, but what was the property on that Matt Wayand is rehabbing?
500 West Howard.
We've actually signed contracts for both 500 West Howard and I think it's 539 Garkey. So those are kind of simultaneous contracts that Matt has for both of those houses to be done in the same time frame. Most of the effort right now that has been happening is just, getting the house cleaned out and ready to start. And I think that they just got like permits to start like rehab stuff, actual rehab stuff.
Sounds good. Is there any questions for Zach? Moving right along.
Okay. I want to welcome back Mayor Ridenhour. Glad you're back with us, Mayor, healthy. Thanks for jumping back in here. Fundraising development, I've mentioned this before, but this just would be a really great thing if we put in an application for CenterPoint Energy for $75K to support our work in Whiteley over a 2-year period. It's been received, and I know they're evaluating it. But that's on the table. And then we submitted an LOI to Ball Brothers Foundation for the yearly grant that we get generally from them to support operations for $45,000. And then the full proposal will be sent in before September 1st. So I'll be working on that next week. Our first Friday meeting, we had Ashley Bridges, who's the director of Intend Indiana's Build Fund, which is another CDFI that they have to support business development, general contractors. And she came and shared about that, just kind of an overview of that fund and how it works. They continue to be very interested in expanding their footprint here in Muncie. For our September 1st Friday meeting, we bumped it back a week. So instead of September 4th to September 11th, and we're using that meeting to have one of our 4 focus group meetings as part of our strategic plan that the Cuyahoga Land Bank is facilitating. And that meeting is going to be with neighborhood leaders and residents. It's open to the public. We're being intentional about making invitations to specific people, but it's open to the public. So that would be an interesting one, just to hear about the land bank and what it's doing well, what it can improve, opportunities, threats, kind of things. Moving on to our partnerships programs. If anybody has any questions at any point, just jump in, just kind of run through this stuff. We're hiring a new graduate assistant from the urban planning department, a young man named Ivan Moda Sanchez. He comes highly recommended, so we're really excited to have him in the fall and the spring. And he's going to be supporting across the board our programs and partnerships. We continue to be active in industry, Whiteley in the Old West End, and also 812 area. Each one is our partnerships advancing in different ways. Industry, the focus continues to be on trying to figure out how we can support the business community and entrepreneurs. In Whiteley, the Plan 302, the 3rd year studio students, that's where they're going to be working this semester. And as always, we use the planning classes and we integrate them into our larger partnerships wherever we're in the neighborhoods we're working. So Whiteley, they're supporting some different processes there. So I'm really excited about that. We've built a lot of relationships with Whiteley leadership through these classes. So that's progressing well. In the Old West End, we have another intern. His name's Nathan Hogel, the architecture student. He's been kind of doing some visioning for a second phase of what the Old West End development could look like. And again, the focus on connecting all the housing development with downtown. He's going to continue working with us through the fall. He's going to cut down his hours a little bit, but he'll continue offering support. And we're getting funding from Ball State's Immersive Learning Program to support him. So that's been really helpful. Another intern, a urban planning intern, Daniel Van Dyke. He is just about ready to conclude his work on a corridor redevelopment plan for the 812 area. He presented to kind of an advisory committee from 812 last week, and then he's making some final revisions and will present that really to their new director, Suzanne Clem. There's just a series of recommendations, but what 812 wants to do with that is obviously up to 812. And then we mentioned this last week. We continue to be working with Tom Collins and Dr. West from Urban Planning Department on this pre-approved housing design program. That's something that Tom was able to secure some funding from Ball State for, and we're just trying to slowly push that forward using, again, planning classes and architecture classes, thinking more of it as a pilot, and then be something that we could offer to the greater community. And then, any questions about all that? This is going to be a very quick meeting.
I
Everybody's
have
happy?
a thought real quick.
Yes.
Pre-approved housing design program, would it make sense once that gets done to showcase it at a First Friday meeting and ask Tim Corcoran to come down and we could like have a discussion about how it is similar or different from what's going on in South Bend?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, sharing publicly getting information. I mean, I think, and this came up the last meeting. I think that there's a real opportunity. I mean, I think we need to have some discussions with the city and ask, you know, how can this fit into something that supports larger city processes. We're working in just one neighborhood. We're working in Whiteley, using this funding, using Tom's expertise, and using the planning class to kind of push something along, just to show like what the process can look like. But yes, I think public meetings with stakeholders, larger stakeholders, the city, are really important.
Can I ask one more question? So
Yes.
I believe that the Plan Commission is doing a update of their zoning ordinances for the county and for the city. I'm wondering how something like a pre-approved housing plan would, or typologies would mesh with that. Because my understanding is that those are usually used so that you don't have to get a variance for infill housing. I'm wondering if the county, for example, you know, changed the zoning so you didn't need approval to do the kind of, I'm just wondering if there's not a conversation that should be going on with the Plan Commission about how this lines up with what they're planning on doing. I guess I would just be concerned about a little bit of redundancy if they're already thinking about making it easier to do infill. Then, you know, how does this fit in?
Yeah, no, I think you raise a timely point, because over the next 13 months, there will be 2 UDOs created, one for the county and one for the city. And I would only imagine that Tom's pre-approved housing plans will have some site settings to it, right? Like how it sits on a parcel or lot. And I think that those will include the potential ideas of setbacks, facades, things of that nature that would be included in a UDO. So I think it's not just timely, but it's probably prudent for Tom and some of his class to become stakeholders or some type of interviewed subject for the UDO. They are building all the participation models for this process as I speak. So American Structure Point is the one who got the gig to do the UDO, and I think Philip Roth is one of the individuals that is leading that effort from Structure Point. So I think it's something that we could try to start that conversation with, but I think it's kind of more prudent of Tom or his class to really be involved in that conversation as well.
And I mean, I guess to a even broader extent, the land bank. I mean, we probably, I don't know if anyone has reached out to staff at the land bank or about getting involved in the you know, the writing of the ordinances.
Well, I can add a little bit. I know we've already had some meetings, and it's all setting things up, and the land bank is one of the groups that's going to be asked to participate in some of the focus groups. So that and other groups as well, some nonprofits and some other things that are being planned, but it's still in the first month or so. So and there was just a meeting yesterday on it, but I know that's coming, and the land bank is a part of it, or will be a part of it.
Very cool. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, I would just say again that this is something that Tom's kind of been the catalyst for. He spoke on in First Friday couple years ago about the program from South Bend when it was kind of like the first of its kind here in Indiana. Since then, it's kind of caught on. I think Fort Wayne and Indianapolis are doing some things like this. And yeah, this is a conversation that's bigger than any one neighborhood. It's bigger than the land bank. And the way we're approaching it has been working at the neighborhood level and thinking about, okay, yes, zoning, building permits, all those kinds of things are larger conversation, but we're thinking, okay, if we have 10, 15 lots in Whiteley and we create some pre-approved plans, we can kind of bring those things together and see how it works as a model. And I think too, like we're trying to go through the process of getting input from neighborhood people. It really just kind of modeling what it could look like at the neighborhood level. But anyways, those points are all taken, and we're happy to join in any conversation. And if there's a conversation that needs to happen down the road with the city or with others, we're obviously more than
Sure.
And
Absolutely. I'll add a couple other things. We did some zoning changes throughout the city in the last year or so that made most of our city interior building lots, most of the lots are 40 by 120. And yet what the guidelines had said, if it was under, we're trying to reduce the number of cases that go to the variance board, because there are many similar cases where 95% of the time it gets approved. Well, that is probably not something that the variance board needs to be looking at. How can we adjust it? And one of the things was our single family lots, it said it's supposed to be 100 feet. And yet everything in the city, or most of the lots inside the city, are 40 by 120. So we adjusted that down last year. And the county did some things on some other property, accessory buildings that made things that always seem to get approved, made it so that they don't have to go to a variance board. And so that was one of the things that already got switched. As long as these plans fit those 40 by 120, it'll fit most of South Central and McKinley and all the other neighborhoods, because that's what most of the lots are. But we're excited about it, and Land Bank will be a part of it. And those meetings are coming up in September. So, gosh, it's almost September now, but it's coming. Believe me, it's coming. So we'll get you involved.
I just wanted to share, like, this concept of using Whiteley specifically for this this pre-approved housing plan has come from the input that we've gathered already from the Whiteley community, as well as what we've come to understand is the feasibility around any type of residential building in the neighborhood. I mean, what we've come to understand is that, a developer coming in and doing new builds, whether for rent or for home ownership, isn't necessarily feasible at the moment. But there's a lot of Whiteley residents, who grew up in the neighborhood or are really familiar with the neighborhood and want to settle down there, but there's just not the housing stock that exists. But they might have the financial standing, to buy a home. It's just it doesn't exist there for them yet. So what this program could provide them is the ability to make a clear pathway to do a new build and to increase the housing stock, rather than a large scale development who has a bottom line they have to meet. So again, we're going to continue with the community input on this one is a huge part of this program, and understanding what role it can play in the neighborhood and then the city at a larger scale.
We have one more update about the strategic planning. Zach, would you update, because you've been most involved there? I know
Sure.
Heather's been away
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, I sent out invites for individual interviews. We've talked to Steve since then, the lead consultant. I believe he's completed most of those. He might still have a couple outstanding. But he says they've gone well and he's got some really good input. And then just this week, I sent out invites for our focus groups. So while the individual interviews were virtual on Zoom, the focus groups are going to be in person. Steve and I believe Kelly Moody, who is his colleague, are coming down on Thursday, September 10th and Friday, September 11th. So two of those focus groups are going to be on Thursday, September 10th, and then two, including the first Friday meeting focus group with residents and neighborhood leaders, is going to be on Friday, September 11th. They're each going to be around 90 minutes, as what he deemed would be necessary, most effective for these types of meetings. And he's gathering, asking questions. Like we have a group focused around tax sale processes. We have a group of, city officials about city property programs. We have developers and realtors. So we have different focus groups that are all playing a key role in what we do and how our organization collaborates and works. So that we're excited to see what kind of input he's able to gather from that. And this is an initial but a really important part of the strategic planning process for our organization.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah.
That ends all our updates, I believe. We have the privilege of the floor. Is there anything for the good of the order?
I want to say, I know I shared, I think I can send it in the chat again, but the tax sale link for the Robert Wood Johnson report we shared. But we did, in case you want one, they're in the office and I can mail you one. We printed hard copies of our Robert Wood Johnson report. They're pretty nice. So if you'd like a copy to, put on your coffee table and never look at, feel free to reach out.
Thanks, Zach. Thanks. Gene, did you have something?
No, I just got thrown off and I'm back, so I don't know what's happening over
It's
here.
all right. It's all right. It happens.
It feels like Monday.
That is unfortunate because it is Friday. Unless there's anything else, our next meeting is September 18th, the day after the Muncie Bridge Dinner this year, right here on Zoom at 9 a.m. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any objections to adjournment? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.